Yes, people, what's going on? And welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. As always, I really do hope that. And transfers. It's Tuesday. We got the transfer deal sheet from The Athletic. We've got all kinds of stuff popping off. Even outside of The Athletic, you've got Florian Plettenberg of Sky, saying that Arsenal have actually already submitted an offer to sign Noni Madueke, once of Tottenham Academy, then to rivals Chelsea, then to really bad rivals Arsenal. Could it happen? Of course, I've given my thoughts a little bit on Noni Madueke. I will continue to do so a little bit more in this video, but first we'll react to the deal sheet from The Athletic, which of course is an aggregation of different athletic journalists, all well connected to the respective clubs they're speaking on. And yeah, we know Arsenal are looking at Eze, Rodgers, Madueke. I do think Madueke makes them a lot better, but we're going to get into it, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content. Superb and wonderful support, as always, here on Football Therapy from the wicked community that we've cultivated together. Lovely stuff. So thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Oof, right then. Here we are. We're not here. Okay, give me a second. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Here we are. This is what we're looking at here. The Chelsea section on the transfer deal sheet for reference. All set up now. My OBS is all over the gaff for the moment, so you'll have to forgive me. But we're looking at this. You don't necessarily need to see the screen. I'll read it together with you. I'm just going to show we've got a slightly different zoom here. Lots of different options, apparently. Right, so what's happened over the past week? Well, a lot, we know that. It certainly has. Things have happened. The Athletics revealed in March Chelsea wanted to get the majority of their transfer business done by the end of June. We are now, of course, on the 1st of July. Happy July, guys. Having already purchased Liam Delap in early June, it was good for 30 million. Lots of teams wanted him. We got him. Major progress was made on 2 more additions over the weekend. Firstly, 3 weeks after finalising personal terms over a 7-year deal for Jamie Gittins. Of course, the Borussia Dortmund 20-year-old left-sided, right-footed winger that we've been looking for. Chelsea have finally agreed a fee with the club, Borussia Dortmund. The 20-year-old has since joined up with Chelsea to undergo a medical, and he's expected to be announced soon. He's passed his medical. We've, of course, reacted to that. Listening to other things, by the way, this is me referencing external sources. German football expert Seb Stafford-Bloor explained how for a long time Chelsea was sort of negotiating Jamie Gittins, but there was a release clause depending on where they finished. What European competition they qualified for. It looked like they weren't going to qualify for Europe, and then it looked like they did until they actually snatched the Champions League spot, which put them in a really strong negotiating position. I think he described his shots and attacking as violent and artistry and violence, which I like to hear, because for me that's giving Eden Hazard and Diego Costa combined. No pressure, kid. But yeah, I'm genuinely very happy with Gittins, and the more I hear about him, the more I read about him, I feel like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense, and he could genuinely be the starting left winger for Chelsea. I know for the money you'd be like, well, of course. But remember, we're going to need great quality across the board here in multiple competitions. Now we're in the Champions League. It's a whole different kettle of fish, mate. We're not going to be slamming 8 goals past Noah anymore. It's different now. So yeah, Chelsea need to add versatile attacker to the squad, and they're on the verge of finalising, of course, Joao Pedro from Brighton. The Brazilian travelled with Chelsea's training base to the US to complete the switch, which will cost in excess of £50 million. We've heard conflicting reports. We also don't know what the add-ons are. If it could be like structured in such a way that does us a favour. I mean, he was always going to cost a lot. I think Newcastle were also willing to pay the fee, but the briefings were that he only wanted Chelsea. Chelsea stepped up talks with Brighton and the player on Saturday, with the 23-year-old making it clear he preferred a move, here we go, to Stamford Bridge over Newcastle United. And, respecting Newcastle United, also in the Champions League, also won a trophy last season. The Brazil international was going to also sign a deal to 2033, much like Jamie Gittins. It should be sorted in time for him to be added to Chelsea's Club World Cup squad. FIFA allows teams to make up 2 additions for the knockout phase by July the 3rd. Gittins cannot be included because he's already featured. He's cup tied with Dortmund. Why they freaking did that, I don't know. it put them in a worse negotiating position, Dortmund. I don't know if they did it to prove a point, but like, yeah, it means it put them in a worse position. And they're not playing him, so silly sod business. Will Chelsea look to sign anyone else in the summer? Well, firstly, Fabrizio Romano has been saying, yes, we ruddy will, even potentially another attacker, which is chicken oriental considering we have thousands, but we will of course need to make sales first. Sterling, Nkunku, Joao Felix, etc. Armando Broja, Denman, all that you forgot about. By the way, Charlie Musonda's retired at the age of 28. Pull one out, bro. He was like the Eden Hazard replacement elect. So sad. He was so good. I remember watching him play for Chelsea years and years ago, like live. He was an amazing talent. 28. Especially if you consider like Hazard's supposed to be retiring sort of now-ish. Maybe he was being sort of rotated out the last 18 months and, 26-year-old Musonda. In my head, it was like the one. Very, very sad. 28, retired, man. So yeah, just wanted to pay respects to his retirement. Yes, so we could be signing other players. There's also some individuals and the current squad that could depart, of course, during the window, therefore opening up space for someone else to come in, like the aforementioned players. You could even add like a Dewsbury Hall, of course. So there's certainly a strong possibility that Chelsea will make more additions before the deadline closes on September the 1st. Jesus Christ, so much time. But Chelsea's position now will be like, yeah, we're safe. Don't try and rip us off. We're cool, man. We don't need your like, whatever. Like, if there's an amazing deal to be had, yeah, we might think about it. But So what positions players are they looking at? They've not dropped all interest in other names on their wish list just because they've acquired Delap, Gittins, and Pedro. So players that have been mentioned in the deal sheet before, such as Hugo Ekitike, loads of money, Mohamed Kudus, being linked to Tottenham now at time of recording, and Alejandro Garnacho, nobody wants him, are still being monitored. Another defender, as shown by their pursuit of Dean Howson before he opted for Real Madrid, is also another possibility. I do wonder about that, because Josh Chiampong is very good. Maybe Badiashile can stay, Disasi's got to go, but maybe there's something there. And Tosin's great, and of course there is this elephant in the room. What's going to be happening with Trevoh Chalobah, So much to consider there. Even though the reports suggesting otherwise, Chelsea made no bid to sign Stuttgart's striker Nick Woltemade, who looks like he's going to Bayern Munich now. They've also held no interest in Aston Villa goalkeeper Emi Martinez, despite being linked. Okay, there you go. Cold water on that, mate. So, who could be leaving? Deep breath. Kepa Arrizabalaga, of course, that should be announced. Arsenal, 5 million boys, 5 million big ones. Cheers, Arsenal. But the other goalkeepers that also could be moving on, of course, Georgi Petrovic has a gentleman agreement. When does that ever go wrong? Victor Gyökeres. And, 25 million pounds. And he has interest from up to 5 teams. It's almost like we should be playing him ourselves. US national team international Gaga Slonina is under consideration to be the 3rd choice goalkeeper behind Rob Sanchez and Jorgensen. Frickin' heck, man. How we this? I hope this is just a briefing, because this is not good. This is in where I'm not one of these people that speak negatively about Gittins and Joao Pedro. A lot of people still want Chelsea to just buy big name 28-year-olds and put them on high wages. I wouldn't mind 1 or 2 of those, but I'm one of those people that don't care if we're signing talent that could get better. And we've already proven with certain players that, that's doable. A lot of people weren't excited about Caicedo because he's a Brighton player and he's, Cucurella, and they've been amazing for us. So I'm not opposed to Joao Pedro's and, Jamie Gittins's, and I've been very firm on Delap. I like Delap. But the goalkeepers, man, they're just not good enough for me. The future depends on what happens to Mike Penders, who could be 3rd choice instead of loaned out to Strasbourg. Well, if it's a choice between the two, he's got to go Strasbourg. Mike Penders cannot be 3rd choice at Chelsea. Maybe 2nd choice. Maybe 2nd choice with legitimate games and actually doing well, you bench Sanchez. No for 3rd choice. Complete waste of time for the young goalkeeper. Chelsea have made it clear defender Josh Chiampong will not be sold. They're taking the Levi Colwill stance of him, and that's what I like. However, clubs are considering loaning out fellow academy graduate Tyreek George. There's an interest from a lot of clubs in the winger, and Chelsea want to develop him by getting regular game time. That I could potentially sign off on. I would be happy for him to stay, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of options on the wide. Even like if Madueke goes, you've got Esteval, you've got Neto, you've got Gittins, you've got Joao Pedro that can play wide. Maybe even like, you know, in 18 months, Mudryk comes back. There is genuinely options. I guess Palmer could play on the wing, and we might be playing this new hybrid system next season, which I spoke about yesterday, where Cucurella holds the width on the left-hand side, and, you know, you've got a sort of inside forward like a Fernandez, Pedro, or Palmer, etc., etc. Or indeed Andre Santos. So that's the goalkeeper situation. Defenders, yeah, and I've got, you know, if Ty gets a good Prem loan, yeah, I don't want to sell him. Very, very firm on that, but he could do well to do. In the same way, Santos really benefited from a loan. Joao Felix, of course, is a source of inquiries from Saudi Pro League clubs. Maybe he'll be looking at what Al Hilal did to Man City last night, and yes, indeed. I mean, I could have put that as a section in the video, but you know, whatever. I did talk about it in isolation on the second channel, Football Yannick. So if you wanted my reaction to Al Hilal knocking Pep Guardiola's Man City out of the Club World Cup, do search on YouTube Football Yannick. Just switch the therapy for Yannick and go support me on that channel if you dig it, man. Yeah, Felix has got to go. Maybe he'll think the Al Hilal thing is exciting and whatever. So Christopher Nkunku is admired by Man United as well as clubs in Europe. I've been very firm on that. I would rather sell Nkunku abroad, Bayern Munich, etc. So this is really interesting, and we're going to go back on Noni in a moment. Nico Jackson and Noni Madueke, who are both attracting interest from elsewhere, are not considered untouchable by Chelsea, and Arsenal are one of the clubs holding interest in Madueke. Returning loanees Sterling, Chilwell, Breuer, Disasi, Vega, and Chukwuemeka are all up for sale. I suppose, unsurprisingly, we'll make profits on Renato Vega for sure. Chelsea intend to talk to striker Mark Gue about their plan for him after the Club World Cup. The 19-year-old is expected to leave on loan. Ipswich Towns are keen. I think that'll be great. I'd love to see Mark Gue. He's still a teenager. Go to the Championship. You know, it's a well-walked path for Chelsea players. Armando Broja, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, Reece James, Fikayo Tomori, all, you know, Champions League winners. Do you know what I mean? They've all done it, and it's done them really, really good. So Amari Kellyman, 20 million quid, is also being lined up for a loan, understandably. And of course, Kendry Pius and Matisse Amugu are going to spend the next campaign at Strasbourg. Oh yeah, baby. So Chelsea, how the Club World Cup prize money has impacted the transfer market. So there's a section here. Obviously you can make a lot of money. So these are the teams that so far have made the most money. Bayern Munich, probably because they won every game and scored a lot of goals. PSG similarly, but Chelsea in third place. More money than Man City, and we're about to play. We haven't even played. Wait. Yeah, so we won our knockout game, that's probably why. But yeah, we will get more money than them as well, because we're going into the next round against Palmeiras. So there is P's that have been made by the mighty Chelsea. Chelsea's addiction to signing new players continues unbated, and their own earnings have doubtless helped them keep the habit up. The £50 million or more they've agreed to pay Brighton for Joao Pedro isn't yet covered by their estimated 39.1 Club World Cup monies, and counting, by the way. But that will change if they get past Palmeiras in the quarterfinals again. Saying prize money has been used directly to new transfers would be wrong, but of course, it's good and makes extra money. Yada, yada, yada. Other clubs as well. Let's talk about Noni Madueke, shall we? Okay, I haven't set up some extra transitions on this yet, so I'll just talk. Yes, at Pletigol, which is Florian Plettenberg, has said Arsenal have already submitted an offer to sign Noni Madueke. He could leave Chelsea, and talks have started. Yeah, look, he's been our most productive winger since he's joined. I think that's fair to say. He's a good player. He can have man of the match performances. He scored a hat-trick for us. He's won man of the match for England's senior team. Out of position on the left. He is a good player. Chelsea will listen to it, because if they'll get an offer where, let's guess, we double our money, He'll make Arsenal better. He can deputise for Saka. They desperately need that because they overcook Saka all the time. And he's probably, with their current crop of players, he'd be a starting choice left winger. I don't want to sell him to Arsenal, I'll be honest, because he makes Arsenal better. Arsenal, we're looking at Arsenal now moving forwards as rivals. And we strengthen them. But this Chelsea ownership have shown before they've got no issues selling to rivals, which I think is dangerous. Hasn't really bit us in the behind yet. I don't think Havertz is really massively made up. I mean, he's not won any trophies of Arsenal. He cost loads of money. We made a massive book profit on him. He gets paid massive wages at Arsenal. Mason Mount, of course, we know the situation there. Kovacic, fine at Man City, but he's not really like massively changed their fortunes, has he? And we've made good money from all of this, So they'll be looking, if they're like, right, well, we can make a huge profit on Noni Madueke and a huge book profit on Noni Madueke. And we will look at this as, he's a right winger with Neto. Neto is in an undeniable form at the end of last season and indeed the Club World Cup, scoring in every game. He's a really hard worker. He's an amazing operator. He's got an amazing professionalism, amazing attitude. I think most Chelsea fans right now are saying, yeah, Neto is Chelsea's starting right winger. Gittins will probably be Chelsea's starting left winger. And then you've got, probably Joao Pedro, because he can play comfortably on the left wing. Neto can play on the left wing as well. And, of course, you've got a superstar, Esteval Willian, coming in that will, although he wants to play in Palmer's position, he'll play a lot on the right wing. So, straight away, what you're looking at is Esteval Willian joining Chelsea, Portuguese speaker that will be the understudy to a Portuguese speaker senior player in Pedro Neto. Could kind of be perfect. And then you make all this extra money on Noni Madueke. You get the extra money to sign this big defender or a goalkeeper. And maybe, just maybe, it makes sense. But I put it out to you guys. What do you think? Do you sell Noni Madueke to Arsenal? What if we make a £20 million profit on him? Would you do it? Because he's divisive. His attitude can be tricky. He's good, though. He makes Chelsea better, and he definitely makes Arsenal better. But will the money talk, and will the money make Chelsea better more? Do you know what I mean? Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've reached the end of the video, then you're a member of the GOAT gang. You might as well subscribe if you're yet to subscribe to this channel. Other than that, man, I hope to see you back here soon. Enjoy the football. Peace!